What's up, everybody? Hello, hello. It is actually our first official Thursday Night Live of the entire year. Thank you guys for being patient. As you guys can see, we've got a brand new brand new opener for you guys. Ray did an awesome job. Ray and Brian did an awesome job getting everything settled for you guys. If you guys haven't noticed, currently the quick word and tomorrow's forecast, they have both been pre-recorded. Reason for that is things haven't been fine-tuned yet, and they also have new intros and things like that. So Ray needed time to make sure that he could get all that worked in and edited correctly. So we're going to be doing that. We're going to be pre-recording that for the next little bit until we can get that kind of worked out to where we can just schedule it and go with it. But new year, new us, I guess. I hate that fucking expression, but apparently here we are. If you guys didn't know, if you didn't know, our Thursday night lives and our tarot night lives are 100% 18 plus.
Oh shit, let me see if I can find that.
So that because I didn't see the ticker. So
I found it, guys. This is what happens when Raymond doesn't help us with the technology.
Okay, now it says it itself that it is not an 18 plus, or it's not an 18 plus show.
Yeah.
It is a NC-17. Now it is an 18 plus show that we do every Thursday. So language is going to be a thing, and a lot of the times, even though we try to be on the lighter end of things for those of you who are new to our live streams, we try to be on the lighter end of it, but a lot of our topics are usually pretty strong in the mental health area, in the spiritual health area, and sometimes some deeper subjects concerning certain traumas that people may actually endure. So, quote unquote, trigger warning, this is an 18 plus, and we do talk about some serious shit, even though we don't take ourselves seriously. Next weekend, we've got Valentine's Day coming up on Friday next week, but the 15th and 16th is going to be February's Central Kentucky Mystical Market. It will be officially in the new spot. This will be the first month that we are doing in the brand new location. It is going to be 1165 Center Parkway here in Lexington, Kentucky. And look for the sunny side above double doors. That's where you can enter. So we are one of the first rooms that you'll come across after you get through the front desk. And we have a whole ass room now. That's just ours. It belongs to us.
It shuts, y'all.
It shuts, y'all. Yo, them doors, aren't they cool? But yeah, we have a whole ass room that's just for us.
Good for that privacy.
The privacy.
Privacy.
But we now have the ability to do card readings and energy work at the same time, as well as have a little bit of the same stuff that you guys are used to, our stretchies, our decks. But we're also going to start carrying things that we would typically suggest. So smudge kits and spell kits, different kinds of things like that. We're going to start carrying that stuff for you guys. So the stuff that we would typically suggest, hey, do this in your own home, we're going to have it there for you.
Yes.
That is also the direction that our specific shop, at least our online store, is going to start to head as well. So everything is going to eventually match. Thank you guys, everybody who actually came out and bought some stuff for the closeout sale. We are not stopping offering things for you guys. We are actually just getting more centered on what it is that we want to provide for you guys. Did you guys ever decide on a winner for the deck?
Yes, it actually has already been shipped out.
Oh, good.
Yes.
But for the live stream?
For the live stream, the winner of the deck was Heather.
Heather Vaughn, right?
Heather Vaughn.
Heather Vaughn Cox. Take that as you will, Heather, because I know you're eventually going to see this. But yeah, she won the deck. But thank you guys, everybody who participated in that. It was wonderful of you guys to do so, and you guys got some cool stuff out of it. Also, coming up, we're going to have a very special raffle with a very special item. We're going through the final process of making sure that it's completed. I will say that it is something that my students put together. So there is a group project that they did that I am going to exploit for charity.
Woo!
So, all jokes aside, that's what it is. But we're going to self-publish it for them on Amazon. But before we do that, somebody gets the very first copy, and we're going to make sure that that is readily available. You guys get to, do a quote unquote auction for it, but it is going towards a good cause, and I'll let you guys know what that is a little bit closer to time. Then March 1st. March 1st is our first anyway. So March 1st is our first 300 level our first 300 level class of the year. It's going to be taught by Mr. Chris Davis. It's going to be online only.
Yes.
What that means is you guys are going to be taking it over our Discord. So you can come to the shop if you want. If it's easier for you to be out of your home, you can come to the shop. We have to know in advance.
Yes.
If you are wanting to be here, we have to know in advance because we aren't scheduled to be here. So if you guys want to come to the shop and hang out here in the classroom with us while Davis teaches the class, we can make that happen if that's better for you. Otherwise, you'll be taking over the Discord. If you're not a member of our Discord, why the fuck aren't you? But we will be sending you a link with the email that you register with. So when you register for the class is $60. And your payment method, we're going to ask for your email, and we're going to send you a Discord link through your email. If it doesn't go through your email and we know you personally, we're going to send it to you personally.
Yep.
So one of the mechanics will actually send it to you in a private message.
And for those wondering, the class being taught by Mr. Davis is seals, sigils, and wards, uses and representative metaphysical applications. It's going to be at 6 p.m. There is a prerequisite. We need to make sure that anybody that is taking this class has taken at least one of the 100 series classes. And that's just because it's going to be a massive amount of information if you have not.
Because a lot of this, he's not going to be able, and in all honesty, with it being a 300 level, he shouldn't have to go back and re-explain a lot of things because it's going to be an info dump as it is. The cool thing is that by the time you're done, he's going to have walked you through how to do this for yourself.
Yep.
So this is actually going to be a workshop as well. So it's not just him sitting there and lecturing you for however long. It's him giving you some info, you guys trying it, him giving info, you guys trying it. So it's going to be a fun one. I'm happy that he's actually able to do. This is one of the first classes that he's been able to do. And he's taught this one before, but it's been years. And I'm excited. I know he is too, to get back in the saddle, so to speak, of being a teacher. It's one of the things that he loves to do. So I'm happy about that. Anything else for February?
For February, no. Just as a reminder, though, we do Tarot Night at the end of every month. It's the last Thursday of the month. This month, it will actually be on February 27th. So for those of you that look out specifically for Tarot Night, it's going to be on the last Thursday.
Yep.
March, we do have coming up, and it's going to be hella busy in awesome, awesome ways.
We're going to go into March a little bit later in the month.
We're still early in February.
Yep.
It's only the 6th.
Yep. So we're trying to basically what we're going to start doing is months at a time as opposed to entire quarters. That way you guys aren't inundated with 30 minutes worth of announcements.
Yeah.
Um,
That we don't have to remember all of it.
that because it is a lot.
Yeah.
March especially, there is going to be a lot of stuff coming up that you guys can be a part of and that we're going to try and offer for you. So it's going to be a hectic month, but it is going to definitely kickstart some really awesome stuff.
Yeah.
One last announcement: Bridging the Gap is back. Our mid-season hiatus is no longer a hiatus. The boys have gotten some things together for you. We've got a couple episodes that are going to come back up. When we get a for sure date, we'll be announcing that, letting you guys know. But it is going to be here in the next couple weeks.
Yep.
They're going to have brand new episodes up for you guys. So for those of you that don't know, Bridging the Gap is our YouTube web series. So it goes into some of the raw footage of investigations that we've had. It showcases multiple mechanics doing what it is they do, or all of us mechanics doing what it is that we do, depending on the situation. And we're looking forward to sharing that with you guys.
Yep.
All right, I think that's about it.
I think so. Fuck.
Comments?
Hi, everybody. Thanks for sharing us out, Russ.
Thanks, Bubba.
Alrighty. Okay, so this month's topic is actually kind of a unique one. We're kicking the year off starting strong. Just as a reminder, before we jump into this tonight, we are not medical or mental health professionals. The things that we are discussing are based off of our own research and our own experiences. Thanks, Bridget. She said I look pretty.
Doe.
Yeah. Pine green is my favorite fucking color. But Emotional Toolbox.
Yeah, so this month is more about some ideas and perspectives as far as things that you can do to keep yourself emotionally fit, because it's not just about, it should be about, and I'm definitely not the poster child for this, but it should be about being healthy in both body and spirit, body and mind. But we're going to be going through a little bit of things, and we talk a lot, the mechanics talk a lot about self-maintenance and being able to do your self-care, your homework is what we usually call it when we're working with clients. Hey, I got some homework for you, go and do these things, give it a shot. And we don't really explain in great detail what it is that we mean by that. So that's what tonight's topic is, as far as personal care, being able to have tools at your disposal to take care of yourself, specifically your emotional and mental health. And there are 4 things that we're going to go over. So the first one that we're going to go over is affirmation. Who knows what affirmations are?
Tell us in the comments. And bonus points if you list out one of the ones that we typically assign as homework.
While you guys are coming up with what an affirmation is, if you use Google, you're cheating. And yes, I will know by the way it reads. If you copy and paste from Google, you're cheating.
Hi, Shelly.
But self-care is very important. As I mentioned earlier, I'm not exactly the poster child of doing so. I am very bad about taking care of myself. I'm more apt to take care of everybody else and let myself wither. As has been evident over the last 2 weeks, where all I've done is sleep.
been a vibe, man. Yeah. Things we do catch up with us.
100%.
So,
The idea is to be ahead of the curve and to be able to stop and take that moment and go, this is starting to get to be a little too much. I've got a little too much on my plate. I'm not going to be able to finish it. I've got a little bit too much stress. I really need to calm down and sort through it. I've got a little bit too much physical strain, depending on what's going on. I probably need a little bit more rest. It's self care and self maintenance, as we call it, is literally all about making sure that you can be okay with where you're at, be mentally fit, and be able to physically endure as far as, all right, we're making it through the day, we're going. It's not a wing and a prayer. We're moving on our own power. It's not taking 30 gallons of coffee and praying to Jesus every second to make it through the day. It's all right, we got this going, let's get it done. So, affirmations. Do we have anybody that has said a word?
yeah, quite a few actually.
Awesome.
So, we've got quite a few affirmations in the chat at the moment, but Linda Donaher said it's positive self-talk.
Yes. I mean, seriously, for lack of better phrasing and everything else, it's literally what it is, is positive self-talk. One of the worst things, and it is honestly one of the worst things that the human condition sometimes forces us, but we wind up literally just falling into that practice, is negative self-talk. If you actually stop and listen to how it is that you refer to yourself, or the way that you actually have your inner monologue, some of you with certain forms of ADHD or autism, dialogue, because you're actually talking to yourself. But when you actually start to listen to the way that you talk about and to yourself, you're going to be surprised how honestly awful some of the comments that you have really are. And it may not seem that way at first, but those conscious, nagging kind of comments of, well, maybe I just don't deserve it. Well, maybe I did bring this on myself. Well, maybe I am the bad guy. Or I should have done better, known better, I should have been the fucking superhero that stopped the bullet train from plowing into that building full of puppies and children. It's literally a situation of, are any of those things actually true?
Or
No.
were you actually able to do any of those things? Because that's actually where most of mine come into play is, well, I want to do all these things. I want to be this person, but sometimes it's very easy to forget that rest is not a 4-letter word. I mean, it has 4 letters, but it's not a 4-letter word. Fuck, it's a 4-letter word.
It is indeed.
No, it's the intrusive thoughts that essentially start to build your ego. And I know we talked a lot about ego last year. It's not the typical bravado in this case that we're referring to. It's specifically the shadow of yourself that is telling you these things because you've compartmentalized and buried them. And then it's created, for lack of better words, your own internal monster. True. It's one of the main building blocks of emotional attachments. And that's why this month's topic is so important.
Yeah, because the ego itself, and we're going to get into the affirmation thing here in a minute. The ego in and of itself is an important thing to have. It's an important thing to utilize. Notice how I'm putting that. It's an important thing to utilize. It's not healthy to rely on that to the point where you become that. You can use an emotion like pride to get you up to where you need to be It allows you that moment of empowerment so that you understand that you can stand on your own. But staying in a moment of empowerment starts to get to a point to where you belittle other people and you find yourself feeling superior in situations where you definitely fucking aren't. Or you start to lose yourself to the facade. The mask is no longer a mask. It becomes that whole situation, as far as psychoanalysts actually analyzing Batman. It's the whole idea of which one is the actual character. Is Batman the real person or is Bruce Wayne? And you start to pretty much get into that situation where you can't tell the two apart. And it can literally lead to some severe identity crises. It can break down your self esteem when you have that realization of, fuck, I'm not this person after all. Um, it can pull the rug out from under you and make you stall. Uh, but what the ego actually is 100% is it's created to protect the quote unquote id, the inner person, the person you actually are. The ego is a severely exaggerated form of that. Quick, make yourself look bigger so predators don't attack you. The ego is a defense mechanism. So, what affirmations do is they start to break down that negative self talk. And as they break down that negative self talk, they start to ease the ego. We're not pacifying it, we're not giving it what it wants, we're telling it to back the fuck off.
It helps you start to actually rewire your brain.
Mm-hmm.
Because your brain goes, wait, but no, that's where I was going before, because this is the pathway that I've had channeled for X amount of time, all of these years, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So it actually helps bridge the gap and give your brain a different way to go as far as thinking. So positive self-talk, I mean, hell, they've even shown it with plants.
Mm-hmm.
If you talk to your plants in a very positive manner, they grow better despite the conditions that they may or may not be in. They can go without water for extended periods of time. They can go without sunlight just because the positive words are actually infectious at that point and they help grow. So why wouldn't your brain do the same thing?
Mm-hmm. Anything that is living has the ability to actually receive positivity and negativity because everything communicates through energy. And not to sound fucking new ageist over this, but it's the truth. Everything communicates through energy. What is energy but wavelengths of light? And everything experiences light in its own way. One of the main things is the quote unquote light waves that are produced when you are connecting to something in a positive way are literally the same across the board. Positive energy does actually exist when it comes to positive energy. So, just the same as you would be kind to a stray animal, or you would be kind to someone in need, or you would be kind to your plants and animals at home, you should be able to be kind to yourself as well. And daily affirmations are an important part of that. And what makes it really great is they don't have to be heavy. They don't have to be severe. They don't have to be, 9 fucking paragraphs long of an affirmation. Most of the ones that we give you guys are 3 words apiece. I am blank. And the reason why is it's simple, it's short, sweet, it's to the point. There's no way that it can be mistaken or misinterpreted. So, has anybody mentioned ones that we give out?
Yep.
Okay.
So actually catching up on comments for a second too. Shout out Mike. And I did actually put the comment up. He tossed out "I am worthy" and that was actually the first affirmation tossed out.
Good shit, man.
Shelly, I'm just going to go through all of them, but I will point out a couple that are ours, but that is one of our main 3. So good job on that one, Mike. You get a bonus point. Woo! Woo! Shelly said, "I'm good enough."
Mm-hmm. That's another good one.
Mm-hmm. And Mike said, "Today will be a great day."
Yep.
And Mike tossed out, "I will overcome."
Yep.
And then dot, 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 dot. And then Russ actually did toss out, it's one of the ones that you say all the time, but it's still an affirmation in its own right. Be the change you want to see.
Mm-hmm.
See.
Good stuff, guys. Good stuff.
Mike said, "Today I won't let blank interfere with my happiness."
Very good.
I mean, you did say, "I feel called out. 30 gallons of coffee is my nectar."
As I've been literally, I outed myself.
You want the other coffee?
Careful. I might.
But Bridget said, "Think to yourself, would you say that to your child? Because if not, don't say it to yourself. You'd never tell your kiddo they don't deserve happiness," for example.
Sure.
And Mandy said, "They actually can rewire the neutral pathways in your brain with time." That's one of the things that I love about affirmations is it's something so simple that you can do each day that can actually rewire your brain.
You can physically, with words, you can physically retrain and regrow certain neural pathways in your brain. It's the coolest shit in the world. Don't tell me physics aren't real. But yeah, and it's stuff that's easy. Like you can really see the difference. One of the things that I love to do, and this is, throwing out the sadist card in my particular repertoire, but one of the things that I love to do is have someone repeat one of our big 3. I am healing, I am worthy, I am loved. Those are our big 3. 3 words apiece. I love literally going through those with somebody and watching them twitch. The reason why, and there is a reason. The reason why is it's literally their brain giving a physical response saying that what they are telling themselves is wrong. So when you say something like "I am healing" and you get that, that weird cringe or that chill or that squinched face, or you start to draw into yourself, it's literally your brain going, "But that's wrong. That's dangerous to think that way. What's outside the door? We can't go out there. There's doorknob and shit. We can't go out there though. It's scary out there. We stay here."
That's the out. Fuck that.
We have to stay in the inn to be safe. And
the inn is a comfort zone. Cough, cough, cough.
Cough, cough, cough. But that's the whole thing. But as we work with the person in real time and we have them say it again, we say it with them, we're there with them, we say it with you. And it goes from being a question, because that's something else. Someone will get or shake their head or, start giggling or, shiver and all that other thing. And it'll always be a question at that point. I guess I'm healing. Am I healing? I am healing? There's a question mark at the end of it where the brain is going, no, but maybe, sort of. That one's saying it. Why are they saying it? Then as the person begins to say it and they start to relax and they start to vibe with the fact that they are actually okay, they are healing, they are worthy, they are loved. When they start vibing with that situation and they calm down, it goes from being a question mark to a period at the end of that statement. It goes from being a question to a full ass boundary. It is a statement. This is what's going on with me. And you can see actually physically in real time that person change with just a few minutes of going through 9 words. It's the most amazing shit in the world.
One of the things that I find that's really cool is we'll get clients that the ones that you think are going to be the difficult ones for them to say are not.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh no, that's a fucking statement as it is.
Oh, I know this.
I believe this. It's like, awesome. Then you get to the next one and they're like, ooh, it's okay.
I don't know if I can, I don't know if I believe that. It doesn't matter. We're going to say it again.
Yep. Because if you can believe one part of that, you can believe all 3 parts of that.
We say those particular ones, and this will be closing up on this particular part of this. We say those particular ones on purpose. It's because they make a statement, a complete sentence, either forward or backward. If you say them in any fucking order, it still makes the same statement. You can't fuck it up. It's idiot proof. There's not a lot to have to remember on it either. I am healing because I am worthy of it, and I am worthy of it because I am loved. I am loved because I am worthy of it, and I am worthy of it because I have chosen to heal. It doesn't matter which way you say it. If you mince the words a little bit, if you add words to it, doesn't matter. It is a full circle statement, which is great for the brain, because then the brain goes, oh, fuck, it makes more than just regular sense. It repeats itself, and repetition is the key to learning. Besides that, everything that's worthwhile should circle back on itself any fucking way.
So what's the next thing?
Comments?
Mimi said, my affirmation is I am a badass.
Mm-hmm.
And Renee, actually, before you mentioned the 3 of them, tossed out all 3.
Oh, good.
I am worthy, I am healing, and I am loved. And Linda Donaher said that negative self-talk can really mess with you. It can.
It be some horrible stuff. It'll beat you down after a while. And it sneaks up on you too.
It does.
One of the best things to watch is saying, I have to. I have to do this. Do you? You really don't. You have a choice. Changing things that are really forceful or even sometimes negative, whether you're talking about yourself in a bad way or just about what you're having to do in a bad way, makes a big difference. I have to do this. Well, I have the ability to do this. I have the opportunity to do this. I get to do these things. It changes the brain and makes it go, huh? And then after that, it goes, it's not so bad. I was making a mountain out of a molehill.
Just because you have a bad moment in a day doesn't make the entire day, week, month, year bad.
Next up, finding an outlet. So this one's a really important one. And what anybody means or should mean when they're talking about finding an outlet is being productive. Finding something to do with the negative emotions that you may feel or the pent up energy that you may have or the ideas that are circling in your head that haven't found a medium yet. You are trying to find an outlet for those things. How can I be productive with this instead of allowing it to fester? Usually this comes in the form of some kind of artwork or some kind of hobby. A lot of people will turn to things like AI art right now, or doing some kind of crafting, or building, or going on hikes, or you know doing conservation, or, and I'm shouting out to people in the audience here that I know are watching, or vibing out with a video game, or playing a tabletop game like D&D, or
Music.
music is a good one. Art, artistic and creative writing is one. Um, there's so many different outlets, and there's even more than that. We're just touching on some. Photography, going fishing.
Flower pressing.
Yeah, flower pressing, stained glass, sculpting, antiquing.
Whatever it is that you enjoy doing.
When you're able to actually express the way that you feel in a productive and positive way, even if it is a negative emotion, it changes it from a negative situation to doing what it is that Mike had mentioned earlier. We're not stewing in it. We're not just bitching about it. We're being about it. Okay, I've got this shit going on. I'm going to use this. I'm going to show other people what it's like to overcome that. I'm going to connect to somebody that may not understand the words that I'm using, but they might understand the way that I feel in a song, or they might understand the way that I feel through a drawing, or through some other medium. Well, this seems kind of dark for your usual shit. Are you okay? As opposed to, well, everybody has those moments, blah, 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 blah. Some people have to have a different medium. They have to have a different thing to connect to, or a different mode to connect to, because they don't connect the way that you do.
Hell, if LARPing is your thing.
Fuck yeah. Go out and, smack each other with sticks in the woods. Fucking do it, We used to do that when we were kids. You can do that now. I, for one, would find that hilarious. But I would also be that kind of person that would find it amazingly fun, too. I haven't LARPed in like years. So.
Because, that episode of Supernatural just popped in my head.
Oh, that movie, Role Models.
Yeah, that too.
Mm-hmm.
But finding something that you vibe out with, that you rock out with, that is an easy way for you to express yourself. Or even if it's a difficult way for you to express yourself, it allows a different form of connection, like what Steve was saying. And sometimes that's the little hiccup that some people need to actually understand what's going on, not only with you, but in that moment. If it's wow, hey, usually you have a lot of colors in your artwork and you're using a lot of grays today. Did you break one of your pencils or your colors, or are you all right? What's going on? Or, hey, you've been using, I know that we've had a couple comments about crocheting. Wow, normally you use very vibrant colors, but you've been gravitating towards, blacks. You feeling okay? Do you need anything? What's up?
I think one of the things that people don't understand, and this is something that I am going to bitch about for just a second, is that whole thing of, I don't have time. Even if it's just a couple minutes, you still have time. You have time for what you make time for. Because how often, now, if this is an outlet for you, that's cool. But we all know that doom scrolling is not a hobby. Doom scrolling is escapism. There's a fucking difference. Escapism is losing yourself in a specific thing so you don't have to face reality. Whereas finding an outlet is allowing reality to be itself and you connecting to others through yours. There's a difference. So, how often and how long do you spend doom scrolling, surfing the TV, whatever else? 2, 3, 4 hours a day for some of you. So, Do you not have time to do something productive? Or do you not want to take the time to do something productive? The answer to that is fucking obvious. You know, it's that whole thing of, well, nah, I'm so busy staring at these walls. I've got all this shit to do while I sleep. You know, no, that's not to say that if you need the rest during the day, you shouldn't take the rest. What I'm saying is giving into the depression and staying in bed as opposed to doing something. There's a big difference. And again, we make time for what we want to make time for.
Some things you can do while doing other things.
Hmm.
Some people need that actually. You know, it's the playing video games and listening to music at the same time, or if you're doing crochet, doing it with something on the TV or music. There's ways that you can incorporate what it is you want to do and still do other things if you want. But that's the kicker. You have to want to do that. It's finding compromises in situations rather than accommodating depression.
That, and before people get outraged, we understand, there is treatment resistant depression. There are many different forms of depression. There are many different forms of anxiety. Believe me, I know that one.
Same.
The big thing is that there is a difference between wanting to prioritize your mental health, which is finding a proper outlet for those emotions that you feel other people aren't going to understand, or the ones that you hold on to that you should be releasing healthy. There's a difference between finding that outlet to do so and sitting and wallowing. You have to understand that at the end of the day, all the pills that you could take and all the treatments that you could get and all the people that you could talk to are literally just helping you mitigate symptoms. You have to want to prioritize your own mental health. You have to want to get better. Now, again, is that saying that, you know, people that are sick with depression, they don't want to get better? No, I'm not fucking saying that. Don't put words in my mouth. What I'm saying is that you have to do some of the work too. It can't just be placed on a mental health care professional to fix you. It can't be placed on a handful of drugs to fix you. It can't be placed on your friends, families, coworkers, insert person to fix you. Those people and substances are there to help you.
It's a very fine line. And that's part of the reason why the outlets are so necessary.
It helps take the edge off. It helps give you that quick burst of motivation. I'm struggling to get out of bed today. Well, what's a reason I could get out of bed today? Here's this outlet. All right, I'm going to get out of bed today for this outlet. I'm going to get out of bed today. It's a nice sunshiny day. I'm going to sit outside and paint. Or it's a rainy day. I'm going to sit inside and, learn a song or play a video game or, read a book or something. I'm going to get up to do these things. And it allows you to start celebrating small victories. And this will be the last thing we cover on this one. Finding an outlet allows you to celebrate the small things. And this is going to sound a lot like self-help bullshit, because guess what? It is. But it is very effective. And it's something that a lot of mental health care professionals will tell you. And that is, regardless of if it seems like it's too small to really matter, it is still something that you can find a lot of fulfillment in. you achieved a goal.
Mhm.
Well, I woke up today and I sat up instead of just laying there.
That's a victory.
I did awesome. And literally, I'm fucking doing it. You know, give yourself the kudos. I did these things. You know, all right, I sat up in bed. I decided to get up and get a shower today. I haven't had one in a couple. Fuck yeah, I took a shower today. I decided to cook. I went to the kitchen, so now I'm on a roll, right? I sat up in bed, got out of bed and got a shower. Now I'm going into the kitchen to cook myself something to eat.
Made myself a PB&J. Hell yes. I'm tired now. I need to go lay back down for a little bit.
And you won't feel as guilty for going back and laying down because you had accomplished things, which means that when you wake up from that nap, what else can I do today? I'm rested now.
Look at all the things that I've already done.
That's the one. Small victories lead to big goals being met. And repeated small victories leads to a routine that allows you to quote unquote win at life every day. Cough, cough, affirmations.
One of the last things I'll say on this, and then we can jump to the next one, is if that is something that you struggle with each day, celebrating the little victories, there's actually apps now that can help with that. One of my favorite apps is the Finch app.
Oh, your little bird dude.
Little bird dude. I talk about him all the time. It's this little app that this little penguin runs around and does activities, and he gets to go on an adventure if you do certain things through the day. But the awesome thing about the app is you set what the fuck it is you want to do. So if it's a little victory, like they have a whole section of options. One of them is I got out of bed today. So if you select it, you're one step closer to this little bird dude going on an adventure and learning about life. It is one of the best fucking things. I love that fucking app. And I will always talk about that app given the chance.
So what's it called?
Finch.
Finch.
Yes.
We are not sponsored, but
No.
honestly, would love to be.
For real. I love that little dude.
She's got costumes for him and all kinds of crazy shit that you can earn by doing your stuff.
Yeah.
So you are being productive.
Yeah.
So using that Finch app, you're able to get up, you're able to be productive and do your thing, and you have an outlet.
Yeah.
That celebrates the victories with you.
And he does. You get little gold stars and stuff when you do a specific thing. And it's based on your mood and what the amount of quote unquote spoons you have for the day. So if you open the app and you're like, wow, I'm just a shit ass mood right now and I slept awful, I don't have it in me to do fucking anything today. You can select the little bottom one and you get more credit for doing things. It works with you. It's a fucking awesome little app, especially for little victories.
I love that shit. We're gonna totally disguise self-help with this little bird.
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome. That kind of stuff is really great. And utilizing that as a tool is a really awesome way to do things too. It's literally seeing your achievements right there. And it's kind of like, well, I did this thing, I get a treat.
Yeah.
The reward hormones in the brain go burr.
And one of the best things about the app is that if you miss a day and you come back, it actually tells you every time it's okay to miss a day. What matters is that you return. It's awesome. I love that fucking app. It's one of my biggest fucking self-help things that I'll do. But jump into the next thing. It doesn't even have a section for affirmations and breathing. So if that's your thing, you get extra points for doing breathing exercises and actually explaining different things.
So we've gone through, affirmations. We've talked about outlets. At this point, we're going to talk about actual self-maintenance. Now, the self maintenance part of this, all of this is considered self maintenance, but we're talking about specifics at this point. Yeah, maintaining yourself is important. Obviously, your hygiene, what it is that, you decide to eat, what it is that you decide to do for exercise, those things are important. They're kind of lumped into this particular category. What is it that you're doing to maintain your proper health? So, are you allowing yourself to wither? Are you allowing yourself to, build complications, that kind of thing, because the intrusive thoughts are currently winning? Or are you at least attempting to maintain, we're not doing without the food that we need to eat or the water that we need to drink just because the headspace goes, now you don't need it? Are we, overdoing it? Fuck, I know I have.
Same candy.
You know,
Star
are
crunches.
are we overdoing it? That whole thing of, well, I know this is junk, and there's a whole idea behind comfort food, and that's great, but there's also eating your feelings, and that part is a little dangerous. You know, it raises the blood sugar, it builds the weight, it starts to affect the body in some negative ways. Now, before anybody starts with everybody, blah blah blah, and weight prejudice,
Body positivity.
that is not fucking what I'm doing here. I am obviously a big dude. What?
Reading a comment, Terry said a friend gifted her a griffin on the Finch app without her saying anything about a griffin, and I'm just like, oh, that's fucking dope. Because you can actually gift your friends things. Anyway, sorry for derailing. I just got excited because I didn't know the griffin was a fucking option.
Well, I just look over and I see shocked face, and I'm like, Jesus, who said what in the comments?
I got excited.
God bless. But no, it's not a body shaming thing that I'm talking about. Because once again, everybody's mental instabilities are different. Everybody's got a different type of neurospicy at the end of it. What I'm talking about is knowing for certain that you are damaging yourself and continuing to do so anyway. That's what I'm talking about. Especially if you are not willing to seek said professional help to fix that. Well, there's nothing wrong with me. Well, that's true to an extent. There's nothing wrong with the way you look, and there's nothing wrong with the way you live. However, it doesn't necessarily mean that everything's cool here.
And that's the important part. Because if you're doing something like eating your feelings, there's a reason. And that's really what we're trying to get at here, is that if the headspace is mashed potatoes and you're eating the feelings to match mashed potato head, you're probably needing a little bit more of a help than what it is you may be willing to admit at the time.
Because at that particular point, what's happening is you're filling the stomach instead of filling that particular void that's needed.
And that's the kicker. When you find the void, it makes it a little bit easier to actually move the energy where it is that's you need it, what it is you actually need. And that's where it loops back into what we've talked about previously. You can find an outlet. You actually have the chance to start saying the affirmations that you need.
On top of, the physical things, there's also doing your spiritual maintenance. We're lumping that into this one as well. So things like, everybody says that meditation is the key to making sure your shit rocks right. No, it's not. It's a great tool. It's a great and wonderful thing. And honestly, using it the way that you need to is pretty cool. It does a lot of great things. It helps clear the mind. It helps relax the body. It helps the spirit rebond. It's great. It's awesome. Is it the end all beat all magic bullet? Fuck no. It's a supplemental tool. But making sure that your chakras are healthy, that they're aligned, that there's no blockages, that they're bright, that they're spinning, that they're doing the way that they need to do, that's an important thing. The reason why is your chakra system, for those, that might be new to this kind of thing, your chakra system is what shows you in the world that you exist. It is literally what anchors your spirit to your body. It's what allows your mind to be anchored to your body that has a spirit. Everything functions because your chakra system is literally a circuit. You're powered by it. At least in a spiritual sense, you are powered by it.
For those of you that do Reiki, for those of you that do any type of grounding, energy work, anything, if your chakras are messed up, accessing those things is going to be either A, difficult, or B, impossible. Because depending on the chakra that's fucked up, depends on how it is that you're actually not going to be able to receive that information or express that information, give that energy work, Reiki, etc., etc., etc. If your root chakra's fucked up, you're going to struggle to ground. Ask me how the fuck I know. Each one of your chakras is directly associated with something else. So if you're struggling with a connection, if you're struggling with finding your specific flavor, you should probably check on your crown chakra and your third eye. They're associated with specific things for specific reasons, and they will directly tell you what it is that's going on with your body and where you're struggling.
It's something that's really important as well to understand that if you subscribe to Eastern philosophies and Eastern medicine, your chakras dictate how your body functions, not just your spiritual body and how it is that your energy flows, but how your physical energy flows as well. When your chakras are fucked up, your meridians don't flow right. Basically, what meridians are is the ripples of energy that stop at specific pathways in your body. These are actually connected to specific systems of your body, specific organs, specific systems like your respiratory, your circulatory, your pulmonary. It's very important for the proper flow of energy to be present. Otherwise, you start to suffer some very serious physical side effects. Go ahead.
I was just going to say one of my favorite things is having a client that's never been to an event like the Mystical Market, Sacred Journey, Light It Up, any of those big events. And, well, what do you do? And we start to explain, and they're like, well, I've had this weird pain in insert section of the body here. And turns out that they have a massive blockage or their chakra is completely busted. And we go through the chakra realignment, do everything that we typically do with one of those clients, help get them fixed up, go through the affirmations. And they're like, wow, I don't know where that pain went.
It is what we do a magic bullet? No.
No.
It is not a substitute for medical science, but it is a great supplement for it. And usually getting Reiki treatments, sound healings, any kind of physical alchemy, those kinds of things, any of those things are going to either lay the groundwork for you to get, the most out of the treatments that you are getting elsewhere, or it's going to supplement the current treatments that you're getting and make them more effective. So it's really awesome to kind of watch that happen in real time. And Pat's right. Throughout the years, the 11 years or so that the mechanics have been doing the fucking thing, throughout the years that we've been doing this, we've seen some awesome results from people just writing themselves. asking for the help and putting the work in. And, a couple of treatments in, and they're like, I went to the doctor. They said that my issue's been alleviated. I put the work in and, came to you guys to keep me smooth around the edges, and, things have worked out. We've seen some really awesome success stories.
We've also seen a couple that are, wow, you recommended that I go see this specific type of doctor, and I did, and they said that something was there, so thank you.
Yeah, that one was a big one. We had a case in northern Kentucky. Uh, I was one of the ones that went in on that one, and the lady of the house was saying that she was having massive headaches. I was like, well, there's nothing here that could be causing that. Do you mind if I take a look? And uh, saw the back of her neck was glowing red. And I'm like, okay, so what you should probably think about doing, do you see a chiropractor? Well, yeah, I do. Okay, so what I want you to do is next time you go see your chiropractor, ask them about your vagus nerve. The chiropractor was like, look, this guy's a fucking idiot. He's a charlatan. He doesn't know what he's talking about. If you do actually have an issue, because you're actually telling me to look, if you do actually have an issue, you're going to have a slight physical nodule right on the base of your skull. And she's like, well, how do we fix that? And he's like, well, I take this, basically this acupuncture, or well, acupressure, excuse me, because acupuncture with a chisel would be awful. But this acupressure chisel, and I literally just disperse that nodule. And she goes, okay. He looks and he finds it. And she's like, so fix it. And I still hear from her almost every year, thank you so much, because the migraines were awful. You know, it's being able to bridge the gap for yourself between spiritual health and physical health that makes a lot of the difference. Notice how all this shit is building. So we go from affirmations to finding an outlet to now having the want tos take care of ourselves.
What's number 4?
Number 4, and this one is actually one of the most important out of all of them, communicating with those around you.
Oh, fuck.
Being able to express in some way, shape, or fashion through your affirmations, through your outlet, through the successes that you're having or the lack of success that you're having with your self maintenance. Being able to talk to somebody, someone that is a friend or a safe space, a family member that you're close with, being able to talk through it and go, look, this is what's working. This isn't, I'm not getting this, or I need accountability. I need someone that literally is going to hold me to the things that I say I'm going to do. You have to be able to share that with other people. Humans are amazing creatures. We're all fucking idiots at one point or another, because, there's a mix of monkey and reptile up there. But we're actually amazing creatures. We're literally water balloons filled with iron powder that runs off an electrical charge that comes from fucking nowhere. It's cool shit. But mentally and spiritually, we're pack animals. We are designed literally by nature, by divine law, whichever you believe in. We are literally designed to be in relationship with each other. When somebody that we are close to is suffering, the heart gets sick for them. When someone is soaring in the clouds that we're connected to, our heart flutters for them, and vice versa. Being able to do your personal self care, and this is kind of leading into other things that we're going to talk about next week, but being able to express yourself through your own self care and the needs that you have in order to give yourself proper self care is one of the most important fucking things that you could ever do. Everyone talks about having their tribe, their spirit family, their circle of friends. And for the most part, everybody has one of those. But what do you do with it? It's cool to get together and hang out and do fun shit. But if you go home and you feel lonely, there's a disconnection there. It's one thing when you go home from a big party or a get together, or you get off the phone with a big conversation with your buddies and you feel alone. At that point, you're in solitude. You're chilling with yourself. Being alone is not a bad thing. It's actually kind of needed every now and then. It gives you the ability to recharge and, work on the shit that you said you were going to work on.
Reset.
Literally. I need some time with my outlet, going through my affirmations, whatever. This is my time. It's okay to be alone. Feeling lonely is different. Feeling lonely is literally pining for the attention of other people. If you leave a friends group wanting, that means there's a part of you that is not getting what it is that they need. At that point, you need to be able to communicate it without feeling as though you're being selfish or childish or anything else. You have to be able to talk to your friends, your family, your coworkers, whatever that you trust, because that's the point of trusting them. If they are your friends, if they are your chosen family, then they should act as such, and vice versa. If they see you as that and you agree to that, then you should act as such. Doing it alone is a lot different when you have people going, "How you doing? How's it working out? I know you said you were going to try this thing. How's that going down? How you vibing with that? Well, this is what I've got going on. You gave it a shot, so I'm going to give this a shot. We're going to see which one works, and then both of us can do it together." It's not hard. A lot of people, especially after COVID, went one of two ways, and there is definitely a gray in between. A lot of people either went the route of codependency, which is fucking not healthy. I have to have this person in my life, otherwise I can't function. That's really fucking unhealthy. Or they did, and we've brought this up a couple times, they did what Jim Carrey warns people about. There is an addiction that comes with solitude, because in solitude, it is only you that has to worry about you. No one yells at you in solitude. No one has an opinion in solitude. No one, is your concern in solitude. You are there with your shit by yourself. And it is very addictive as a result. The problem with that is he wasn't saying those things were good things. He literally used the word addictive. that kind of mindset of, I don't need anybody, I don't want anybody, it's dangerous and it's very, very toxic. Share your life with other people. That's the point of it. If you stop and you really think about it, yeah, you're living your own part of life. You're living your own version of the current reality. But guess what? We're all in the same space time. We're all doing it together anyway. Everybody experiences the same 24, 365 in the same fucking way. Just different circumstances. Why not do it together? What?
I'm cool with that mic drop.
Cool. Comments?
Oh, yeah. So scrolling back to earlier, talking about a couple people tossed out their awesome habits that they were working on in their hobbies. Love to see it, guys. Really do.
Awesome shit.
Let's see. Okay. Raymond did toss out directly from a counselor's mouth. Our goal is to help you find a way to do the work yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Renee mentioned celebrating little victories that kickstart the bigger ones. Yep. And Terry mentioned that she does a lot better now. Better, a big improvement from a couple of years ago. And honestly, fucking kick ass, man. Mike mentioned that learning the difference between being alone and being lonely took him quite a while. And in summation, that's the majority of the comments.
Cool. So, closing statement?
Be nice to yourselves, guys. Please. Because if you're nice to yourself, it'll be a lot easier to be nicer to others. And it makes everything we've talked about tonight a lot easier on not only you, but it makes it easier to show other people how to do that as well.
At the end of the day, the only things that we can control in life are our own actions and our own reactions. And if we want better, we need to choose better. Does it mean it's going to be easy? No. Does it mean that there's not going to be hurdles? No. Does it mean that, everything's going to be fixed with a fucking positive attitude? Hell no. Life is going to present with what life does, because life in and of itself is life. It's not supposed to be controlled. It's not supposed to be pushed into a corner or into a box. We're just supposed to experience it in the way that it comes. Make the best choices that we can with what little knowledge we have. And do our best to be there for each other when we don't have a way out. The whole idea of taking care of yourself, your personal health, is so that you can, as Pat said, be an example for others. So that you can be that person that can show others that they can do it. So that you can be there in your light while someone sits in their darkness and reach the hand. You've been there before and you've worked your way out. You can be that guiding light for people. Regardless of how broken you may feel you are, or fragile you might actually be, that's not what strength is about. Strength comes from courage. And courage isn't a lack of fear or, you know, being fearful that you're too weak. It's not a lack of it. It's moving ahead knowing that. It's moving forward in the face of fear. Be courageous and be strong. Don't just focus on the things that break you down. Don't just focus on the things that are stressors. Prioritize. Think things through. Be logical, not emotional in situations that deserve it. Be emotional when it's time to. Find you outlets. Get you some affirmations going. Take fucking care of yourself. Make yourself a priority. It's your life, yeah? The one that you decide to live. So decide to live it. That being said, that'll end it for this week. And as always, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and remember that those that have the power to change themselves have the power to change the world around themselves. Love y'all.
Love you guys.